The morning they changed my locks, I just stood there. My name was still on that lease. My couch was still by that window, and I had nowhere to go. This was not the first time. It was not even the second. This was the third time I packed my entire life into garbage bags. The third time I stood outside a door that used to be mine. The third time I told myself, how did I let this happen again? My name is Marcus. I was evicted 3 times before the age of 34. And this is everything I never told anyone. I grew up watching my mother work herself to exhaustion. Double shifts at a grocery store, coming home at midnight smelling like the deli counter, still finding time to heat up rice for me and my 2 sisters. There were months where rice and prayer was dinner, not because she didn't try, because she was trying harder than anyone I have ever known. I watched money stress eat away at everything around me, relationships, health, joy. And I made myself a promise, a quiet, angry, desperate promise. This will not be my story, but promises don't pay rent. By 24, I had my own place, a 1-bedroom apartment I could barely afford, but I was proud of. A warehouse job, a girlfriend, a life that felt like progress. Then they let me go. 2 weeks notice, and a sorry look. I told myself it would be fine. I had a little savings. I would find something fast, but 2 weeks became 2 months. The savings disappeared faster than I thought possible. I borrowed from my girlfriend, then from my mother, the woman I swore I would never burden, then from a friend who never asked for it back, but I still think about it. I started dodging my landlord's calls, letting them ring out, pretending I wasn't home, as if avoiding the conversation would make the problem disappear. It didn't. One cold Tuesday morning, there was a notice on my door. 30 days to leave. I packed everything I owned into black garbage bags, moved onto my cousin's couch. 24 years old, and I felt like the biggest failure alive. By 28, I thought I had figured it out. New job, new apartment, new start. What I had actually figured out was credit cards. I wasn't buying crazy things. I just wanted to feel normal. A proper meal out. A jacket that wasn't falling apart. A trip with friends I didn't want to miss because I was always the broke one. Small things, each one felt harmless. Together, they were quietly destroying me. Then my car broke down, and I had to choose, fix the car to get to work or pay rent. The math did not work either way. My landlord was actually kind about it. That almost made it worse. A kind eviction still leaves you with nowhere to sleep. Second time, garbage bags again. $11,000 in credit card debt this time too. The third time, I saw it coming, and I still could not stop it. I was 33. Better job, decent salary, but the debt from my 20s followed me everywhere. Like a shadow I could not shake no matter how fast I moved. 4 credit cards on minimum payments. A student loan I had been dodging for years. Still sending money to my mother every month because I refused to let her struggle the way she used to. When my roommate moved out without warning, the rent became impossible to carry alone. I knew what was coming. I watched it happen in slow motion, and I did not know how to stop it. The third eviction notice did not feel like rock bottom. It felt like confirmation. Like maybe this was just the life I was built for. Like maybe some people just never get ahead. Like maybe I was one of those people. I spent 3 weeks on an air mattress on my friend's living room floor. 33 years old, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. And for the first time in my life, I stopped running. I sat down at that kitchen table one night and I wrote down every single thing I owed. Every debt, every card, every number I had been too terrified to look at directly. The total was $34,700. I stared at that number for a long time, and then something happened that I still cannot fully explain. Something shifted, because for the first time it was not a feeling, it was a number, and I remember writing beside it, "This is a number. Numbers can be solved." That was the night everything changed. The decision I made was not glamorous. There was no viral moment, no lucky break, no secret nobody told me. I decided to stop pretending I understood money and actually learn it. I started with library books because they were free. Then YouTube videos at midnight when everyone else was asleep. I found communities of people online talking about debt like it was something you could actually fight back against. I learned about the debt snowball for the first time. I learned what an emergency fund actually meant. I learned that most of my habits, the quiet everyday ones, were bleeding me dry so slowly I never noticed. And for the first time in my life, I made a budget I actually followed. The first month I saved $200. That was it. $200. To most people that sounds like nothing. To me, it was the first time in years I ended a month with more than I started with. I celebrated by myself, quietly. Then I did it again. I picked up a second job on weekends. Not forever, I told myself. Just for now. Every extra dollar went straight at my smallest debt. The day I paid off that first card, I sat in my car outside a gas station and I cried. A grown man, crying over a zero balance. I'm not ashamed of that. Those were the most honest tears I have ever cried. By month 8, I had paid off 2 cards. By month 14, I had a real emergency fund. Not a plan, not a promise, a real one, sitting in an account, waiting. I am 35 now. I have my own apartment, one I chose, not one I settled for. No credit card debt, a savings account that actually has something in it. Every month I sit down and review my budget. Not because I have to, because I have learned that money only works for you when you pay attention to it. I am not rich. I want to be honest about that. But I am something I never thought I would be. Stable, peaceful, in control. And if I am being completely honest with you, I think about those 3 evictions every single day. Not with shame anymore, with gratitude. Because they broke me down to the point where I finally had no choice but to build something real. If you are watching this and you recognize yourself in my story, the dodged calls, the borrowed money, the number you are too scared to look at, I just want you to know one thing. The turning point is not some big dramatic moment. It is a quiet Tuesday night at a kitchen table when you finally decide to stop looking away. That is all it takes to start. Just look at the number. That is where it begins. If my story hit home, subscribe to Broke to Better Diaries. We drop a new story every single week. And in the comments, I want to ask you something personal. What is the number you have been too scared to look at?